She was known online for her beauty, her confidence, and her growing influence across Instagram and OnlyFans. To hundreds of thousands of followers, she was a radiant presence, a model who shared glimpses of her life, her travels, and her personality. But behind the curated posts and bright smiles was a young woman whose final moments would unfold in a way no one could have imagined. This is the tragic story of the OnlyFans model found dead in a hotel bathtub. On a quiet afternoon in a luxury hotel, staff members responded to a call that something was wrong. When they entered the room, they found a chilling scene. The influencer, unresponsive, lying in the bathtub. There were no immediate signs of struggle. No note, no explanation. At first, investigators considered the possibility of a sudden medical emergency, a collapse, a fainting incident, or even a tragic accident. But something about the scene didn't sit right with them. Within days, the tone of the investigation shifted. Forensic specialists combed through the room again, and evidence began to raise new questions. What happened in the hours before she died? Who was the last person to see her alive? And why were there discrepancies between initial accounts and newly discovered details? Soon the case was no longer treated as an unexplained death. It was reclassified as murder. That single word changed everything. Investigators quickly identified the man who had been with her shortly before her death. A musician well known in his own right, who had entered the hotel with her and was caught on surveillance cameras. Authorities questioned him extensively. His statements were scrutinized. His behavior in the days following the incident raised even more alarms. Though he publicly expressed shock and condolences, investigators were not convinced. Forensic tests, phone records, digital footprints. Everything was now under the microscope. But at this stage, no official charges for murder had been filed, only ongoing questioning and parallel investigations. Despite the online frenzy, the truth remains locked behind police files and forensic results that have not yet been released to the public. Was she harmed intentionally? Did an argument escalate into something far worse? Or was there a hidden factor? Substances, a medical condition, something overlooked, that changed the trajectory of her life in an instant. As her death shifted from mystery into a criminal investigation, the world watched closely. Fans who once adored her content now find themselves mourning a loss that feels both distant and strangely personal. Tributes poured in from across the globe. Her followers shared their grief, remembering her as someone who brought energy and charm into a digital world too often filled with negativity. Friends described her as warm, ambitious, and creative. A woman with big plans, new collaborations, and a future that was supposed to be filled with success, not tragedy. Her online presence may have showcased glamour, but those close to her say she was genuine, kind, someone who cared deeply for others. And now they want answers. Today, the case remains open. Every piece of evidence is being reviewed, from digital messages and timestamps to CCTV footage and forensic results. Detectives continue to piece together the final hours of her life. One thing is certain: someone out there knows the full story. Until the investigation concludes, the world is left with speculation, unanswered questions, and a haunting image of a life cut short in the most unexpected and heartbreaking way.